Hey man, do you know how my favorite sea creature is the dolphin and how majestic and magical it is? Well, it turns out they have a brand new dolphin movie called Dolphin Island. I can't wait to see it. It probably has a ton of dolphins in it. Yeah, I'll call you back. I'll tell you how it was, okay? I'm about to start it right now. All right.
Listen, this is going to be before the custody battle, during the custody battle, and also after the custody battle.
What is this? I must have turned on the wrong thing. Where are the dolphins? What's all this child custody crap? What's going on? Here's the review. What's up and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars. Today I'll be talking about a brand new film centered on dolphins, but not really. It's Dolphin Island. Dolphin Island centers around the life of a young woman named Annabelle who lives with her grandfather on a fishing boat, or at least she did, until her other grandparents on her mother's side, who Annabelle has not seen in over 10 years, suddenly demand full custody of her. Can her grandfather prove that he's fully capable of caring for his granddaughter and be a fisherman at the same time? Only time will tell, and you know, there are dolphins and stuff in there somewhere too. In a word, Dolphin Island is misleading. Nobody in their right mind would go to a video store, be it brick or mortar or a digital marketplace or something, and see this movie and think, you know, it's a film about a custody battle, okay? That's not what the poster advertises. I don't even care that the official synopsis of the film actually talks about the custody battle or not. At the end of the day, half the poster says Dolphin Island, and that's just dumb. I can imagine all the little boys and girls that want to see a cute movie about dolphins check this film out, only to see a bunch of old geezers bicker about who gets full custody of a random young girl. And heck, there's barely any dolphins in the movie at all. I mean, there's like, you know, one. And anytime it's brought up, it feels forced, like it's a gimmick thing, and it honestly has no real input into the direction of the plot. I mean, you might as well call this movie The Fishing Boat, and it would make just as much sense. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this film has a case of false advertising. That's not necessarily to say that the film is automatically bad. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies that were poorly marketed to be something other than what they were that actually turned out for the better. Dolphin Island's a film that has a couple of interesting things going on. It's nothing crazy, but it does have a pure heart, and it's incredibly light and fluffy, like you're watching something on a fake TV channel called Lifetime for kids. That's what I get when I watch it, and I'm sure a lot of people might actually like that kind of thing, since pretty much all we get nowadays is films and TV shows that are completely inappropriate for younger viewers. I don't think that this was inappropriate at all. In fact, it approaches a pretty touchy subject like custody hearings rather delicately. They even made the evil lawyer guy in the movie a goofball, and out of everybody in the film, I probably enjoyed his character the most, just because I had fun with it. But the more that I try to come up with positives for this film, the more I come up empty-handed, and I think that has something to do with the overall ambiance of the film, which is just something that screams amateur, at least to me. Visually, this film is as auto-white balanced as it gets, which kind of removes the cinematic feeling that movies often have. Cameras are auto everything right out of the box, you know, like including white balance. And that's fine for your general consumer, but not for a movie studio that has all these useful tools in post-production that turn a bland-looking video into something much more like a cinematic experience, a world that the viewers can escape to. And that's not what this film has. Another issue with the movie is a mixture of, you know, acting or dialogue. It's easy to just watch the movie and say that everybody sucks at acting, which is definitely the feeling that I got while watching the movie, but sometimes it's not the actor's fault. Sometimes it's the lines that they have to say that becomes cringeworthy, and there's just so many lines of dialogue here that didn't flow organically. They all felt like they came from a script still in the rough draft phase, and it still needed to be worked on to make sure that things that people say are at least natural. Another problem with this film is logic. Look, I can appreciate a film on custody battle just fine, but the details surrounding this film are just kind of strange, and they explain the time frame as 10 years after this girl's parents died, and I have no idea why they're fighting for custody right now as opposed to 10 years ago when it was relevant. I mean, where have they been all this time? A decade later is just so random, isn't it? Not only that, but they're trying to play it off as, you know, this fisherman life is like dirty or hippie-like, and I'm like, What? Haven't fishermen been around forever and considered legit working class since like the beginning of time? And I understand that he's not completely a fisherman. He's like this wildlife conservative, I don't know, whatever. It's still legit work. So why all of a sudden is it unstable for a kid to be around? I don't know. There's just these little things in the movie that have me absolutely confused. Ah well, let's go ahead and break down the final rating for a second. From a technical, unbiased perspective, I can't say that the movie is horrible. It's rather average and right down the line. It never really tries to go above and beyond in a way that it carries itself. And that auto white balance stuff is just kind of amateur to look at least for me. So this score is 56%. And when it comes down to how I feel about the film overall, or my bias score, this isn't great. Part of the problem is that I just wasn't really the target audience. But part of it was just the fact that it had poor marketing. Not only that, but it was kind of boring for me, to be honest with you. So my bias score is 32%, and when we average out the two scores together, we come to the final rating of 44%. 44 out of 100 possible stars, or an F letter grade. This film will likely never show up on your radar at all. It's just one of those independent B movie types that you may never see. Or you might see it in passing on some kind of random streaming platform that won't even begin to capture attention other than a passing thought of, what on God's green earth is Dolphin Island? That sounds and looks terrible. Your preliminary assessment is not that far off. It's not great. But if you have seen it, guys, I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.
Dave examines movies we just watch for fun. Davey is the expert. He is the #1 critic that I go to when I need a movie pick. Thanks for joining up with us.